Hey everyone, how's it going? Total Level here with just me talking about my love for JRPGs and kind of discussing why I love them, why they're my go-to genre all the time, as just love JRPGs, and with my channel kind of shifting a lot more towards JRPGs along with kind of hidden gems, niche games, or underrated games. I thought, why not talk about my love for this genre and why I just can never get enough of this, whether it's playing an older game like Panzer Dragoon Saga, which I played and beat for the first time last month in November, or something more current and everything like that, right? Like, doesn't matter old school or modern JRPGs, doesn't matter if it's turn-based or action, strategy, whatever, it's just I cannot get enough of JRPGs. And it's funny because once I got hooked on them after, I got into Final Fantasy VII when I was like 10 years old, I love the genre, but I was never this invested. Like, it's only been probably about the last maybe 6 to 7 years where I'm like, I really want to play like every JRPG, and this is a genre where this just really took complete control over, right? Because it's just a fantastic genre. So yeah, let's go over some of the points as to why I just love these games so much. And it's gotta start with just the video game worlds that these JRPGs create, whether it's something that takes place more in a realistic kind of environment, but supernatural events kind of happen, or you got your fantasy world, you got your, sci-fi, steampunk, everything like that. It's just such a wonderful genre where you can just jump into any world and it's ones you want to live in. Now, I did a video a while ago talking about which JRPG worlds I would like to live in and went into quite a lot of detail and thought into it, but, overall just these worlds are so fantastic, and the way they can open up to you, like the first time playing Final Fantasy X, once you get to Lucca, it's just like, wow, this is gorgeous to look at. Or that moment where you finally get to leave Midgar in Final Fantasy VII, which, man, I can't wait for Rebirth. That is going to be so good. But yeah, and whether these worlds are more kind of on your darker, depressing side, or you got a more vibrant world, they are just so much fun to explore. And this is something that I think JRPGs do so much better than kind of your Western RPG styles, which I love Western RPGs too, but the big thing with JRPGs is just the thrill of exploring, because going to different towns in each of these games, that at least the ones that allow you to kind of go from town to town, or cities or kingdoms, right? Like, there always seems to be kind of this theme within each of these JRPGs, right? And that's what I just love so much, is that exploration, that discovery of visiting a new town. And especially for someone like me who still to this day doesn't really get, isn't really able to travel, right? Like, I'm not really able to travel around the world or anything, and even if I was able to, I still probably wouldn't, because I hate airports that much. I just hate the stuff you have to go through airports and everything. But just playing JRPGs feels like going on a mini vacation in which you're traveling anyways from town to town, city to city, environment to environment, right? You got your, grasslands, you got your, all depends, but, you got your snowy areas, and sometimes you might have more of a desert area or a, kind of volcano, fire type area. It's just it's something I love about JRPGs so much. And then the next thing are the characters. I could put story in here too, but characters really just add so much to JRPGs for me, as yes, they all follow these cliches of amnesia storylines, or, your big heroes that are there to save the day, the chosen ones, all that, but man, I love characters in JRPGs, and it's something I found too that if I'm not really feeling like a good number of characters within a game, then I do find myself struggling to get through certain JRPGs. But yeah, once they click, man, it's just, I want know more about them, I want to help them on their journey. It's just, yeah, the characters in these games really add so much to the overall experience, the overall joy of playing these games, right? These epic adventures. And I might be in the minority here, I'm not sure, but I prefer when a JRPG doesn't have like romance options. Actually, like, more and more JRPGs are starting to do that. You have Persona and all that, where you can pick and choose like who you go out with and things like that. But to me, for JRPGs, I do like, I'll still love those games, but I do prefer ones where the stories are kind of set, and if there is a love story, it's kind of set of which two would be kind of together, right? Like, there's just something special about that. I think that's why, I'm drawn to so many Final Fantasies and everything like that. And yeah, it's just, yeah, characters really make, JRPGs a lot for me, because a game can have, not the greatest battle system, but if they have great characters along with a solid enough story, like, I'll still play through it because I'm intrigued by kind of these characters in this world, right? And then I don't want to make this too long because I could make this like a 2-hour video, right? So I'm just going over quick little points. And I think the last point I want to go over is the overall structure of JRPGs, because there's a JRPG out there for everyone. So when I say structure, I just mean, like, not just about gameplay of like turn-based versus action or a tactical strategy style or things like that. I'm talking also just the pacing of the game, how much grinding is in the game, how little grinding there might be. And that's what I love about JRPGs, because there's something for everyone, right? And that overall structure is what makes them so great. That's why, we see the shift of Final Fantasy, right? Like, older Final Fantasies being kind of the turn-based system, with so many of them having the active time battle system, right? Where newer ones now are a lot more of an action-oriented style, right? And, there's debate about that too, where a lot of people are kind of mixed between both of them. I personally, do enjoy both, but still, you got, like, those ones where you can choose which games you want to play, and then, or if you're someone who wants a very traditional turn-based, RPG with, grinding, because people, there are people out there that do love grinding, they find it relaxing and everything. You got your Dragon Quest games that are very traditional JRPGs, right? And, if you want more just action, but maybe not like super in-depth action, you got like your Tales of series that do a great job of that. And, you got, I said Persona, you also have the Legend of Heroes Trails games, where if you don't mind a good number of, sort of dialogue, right, where you get to really know characters a lot, and it's a slow slowly built story that you might find that more intriguing, right? Like, or a visual novel type style, or one like an ease game where, for the most part, like, there is, story and dialogue, but a lot of it is like you're jumping right into the action, right? And that's what's so awesome about JRPGs, is there's something for everyone to just enjoy, right? Like, for me, my favorite type of structure, which kind of sounds funny because you usually don't do these in, you don't get the same style and gameplay, but man, I love over-the-top, just ridiculous cutscenes. It's probably why I've been so drawn to both Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3, currently playing the first one, so yeah, I'll want to play through that and see how I feel, but I love the second game way more than I thought I would, and the third game, like, just everything I wanted, and I just love those big cutscenes in these types of games, even if the gameplay isn't that at all. That's kind of my favorite trope, is having just so much action in these cutscenes. Like, I'll never get tired of that in any of these games.
You'll never get Pyra. She's more than just the Aegis or some kind of weapon. She's a living being.
And then, so thought I was going on there, but there was one more thing that I did want to talk about, and that's just the discovery of JRPGs is so special to me because, over the years, I've been able to pick up and play brand new JRPG series, and what's so great about them too is, while it's a shame that there's a good number of great ones that are kind of one-offs of, Skies of Arcadia, Lost Odyssey, Threads of Fate, things like that, right? But for many JRPGs, like, once you discover one, you go down the rabbit hole and find out there's like 20 of them, right? And that is just such a fun discovery to know that there's this giant world that you did not know about. And it's something I'll never get tired of because, man, when I first played Persona 4 Golden, that was one of the things. Is like, when I first got my Vita, I'm just, I asked one of my friends on Miiverse, when Miiverse was a thing on the Wii U, I asked him, what game should I get with my Vita, and he said Persona 4 Golden, at which I thank him every day. It's become my favorite game of all time, right? But, it was so fun discovering that game and how relatable it was for me and my mental health, right? And how much it helped me through life. And then I'm going down the rabbit hole, and then it's like, oh, because I was just thinking, okay, this is the fourth game, there's going to only be 3 other Personas, and then find out that Persona is a spin-off on its own, and then there's spin-offs of the spin-off of Persona, right? Of the, fighting games Arena and Ultimax, and, Persona 4, like Persona Q and Q2 on the 3DS, and then you got, of course, the big series of Shin Megami Tensei, and it was just like rabbit hole after rabbit hole. And it was the same exact thing when I first played Trails of Cold Steel, where I loved that game, and I'm like, I have to see like what others are there, and then it's like, oh, okay, so there's so many more in this, not just Trails series, but the whole Legend of Heroes series too. Like, that dates back all the way to, like, I think the NES or Famicom, because a lot of the games we got here from Falcom, like, originally I think the series was called Dragon Slayer, I think, and then for us they were different names, like Legacy of the Wizard on NES was, I think, Dragon Slayer 4 in Japan, and things like that. And it's just, it blows my mind that, you know, I played this one game and then all of a sudden there's a whole epic saga for me to discover, and yeah, I just love that so much of JRPGs. So before we go, one last thing to talk about, of course, is music in JRPGs. Like, I cannot forget about music, right? Like, the soundtracks that these composers put together, you know, are just so incredible to listen to, and it's a big reason why, you know, these games are so epic to me. And, you know, I kind of talked about cutscenes and over-the-top cutscenes, and it's like, well, the music really adds to that effect too. Like, it's just incredible to, you know, create such emotion through, you know, simple little songs, right, that are so emotional or so impactful. Like, you know, you got Aerith's theme in Final Fantasy VII that has to be, you know, one of the most iconic themes for a character ever, if not the most iconic theme for a character ever, right? And just, yeah, it's fantastic stuff. And yeah, the music in these JRPGs, I just, I don't think any other genre out there can even, you know, come close to, you know, topping what these composers can do, especially, you know, thinking about how long a game is and the amount of themes they have to create for each town, you know, certain characters, certain battles, right? It's just incredible. So yeah, I think I will end it there. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below what, you know, why you yourself love JRPGs. I would love to hear all your thoughts. What are some of the best JRPGs you discovered over the years? You know, what are your favorite kind of tropes, structures, everything like that? I would love to know your thoughts on all this. And yeah, again, I hope you all enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you next time for more just JRPG love on this channel, along with other videos I do. Alright, thanks everyone, have a great rest of your day. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, or if you just want to see any of my skits and then nothing else and leave the video, that's fine too. Thanks everyone, take care.